All right.
Okay, we're live now.
All right. We're live on Instagram, Kilt's Mighty Tribe, YouTube, Facebook, and some others. I'm here in Irvine with Brother Ray, and a steak a day keeps the doctor away. And remember, black and blue to raw is best for you. And don't forget, add the salt. I love Malden. All right. What are we talking about today, Alia, Cindy?
We're going to hear from Cindy of her amazing story of healing and weight loss, like we were just talking. And then you were pointing out that the only animal that wants to be skinny is the human animal.
Right on. No other animals.
But
you got to lose weight. We actually have no requirement to lose weight. We just want to gain the strength to know that we are perfect as we are. And if you want to slim down, leaner meat, move more, and don't forget and have faith in God. So hit it, Cindy.
All right. I am 67.
Wow.
I started my keto journey in 2020 when the world is just totally upside down. My sister had researched diets for her daughter who was diagnosed with fatty liver disease. And she says, told her daughter, she said, I'll do this with you if you'll do it. So she started, and 3 months later, after hearing all this about keto this and keto that, I just decided to go ahead and start it myself. And in 2007, I had gastric bypass. I wish I had never, ever done that. 2 years after that, I started developing hypoglycemic episodes if I ate too many carbs and not enough protein. So after figuring that out, that was pretty easy to fix overall. I mean, I was still eating the carbs, I was still eating the other stuff. But in 2020, once I got determined and the mindset was right, I started keto full force, 20 total carbs or less daily. Within 22 months, I lost 100 pounds. Woo. And without exercising. I did not do anything because I needed to get healthier first.
Love it.
And I started blood pressure meds when I was a teenager. And after 50 years, I was able to get off of them. And it was like, yes, that was like the biggest win for me, I felt. I was, after I had started, I had gone to my doctor who was totally behind me. And he said, I asked him to do an A1C check because I don't recall ever having one. And I was almost 300 pounds. And when we got the results back, I had done a follow-up appointment. And the A1C came back at 5.8. I was only 2 weeks into keto. And I told him, I said, that worries me, because I'm looking at the normal ranges and all that. And he says, I'm not worried about you. He said, you're doing what you need to do. You've already dropped 20 pounds. Within 3 months, A1C was in normal range. Everything was great. I started feeling good, started going for walks and doing this and doing that. And, it's just been great. I stay more keto. Go ahead.
So I guess the question is, what's the cause of all of our diseases? Why have we all been suffering for so long?
We are what we eat. You hear it all the time, and you don't put the two together until you actually do something about it. It's incredible. I do a lot of interviewing myself on YouTube, and the stories that I've heard are absolutely inspiring. It's amazing the different things that this has helped people, from depression and anxiety to all the other health benefits. Weight loss is an added benefit. It's an extra, which is amazing. So yeah, but I just feel good. I had started bowling when I was 9 years old. When I was in my 40s, I quit because my back was bothering me. My knees were bothering me, which I've since had to have both replaced. But the arthritis in my back is totally gone. And that's just incredible. So 20 years later, I started bowling again. And in fact, I just got back Saturday from a tournament in Texas that I had won my age group for the state of Kentucky to be able to go to that tournament.
Wow.
So yeah, it was fun.
Awesome.
Well, what inspires you to share your story and share other stories around the globe?
Just to be able to help someone. If just one person connects with my story, whether it's having had the bypass surgery and regretting it, and haven't had the knees replaced, and maybe I may not have had to, but they were pretty far gone. You know, arthritis is gone, you know, just by changing what you eat. It's just incredible. So yeah, so if I can help just one person, and it's just it's rewarding for me.
What's been the hardest part of this journey?
Nothing, really.
What's been the most inspiring part of the journey?
The inspiring is how I feel, but more than that, my husband came on board with me. He's a type 1 diabetic, and his A1C was almost 8 when we had moved from New Hampshire to Kentucky 4 years ago. And he's been maintaining about 6.4 to 6.6. He's been diabetic since the age of 2.
Wow.
So,
John Piper is asking, what part of Kentucky?
Richmond.
Awesome.
About 5 minutes from a Buc-ee's.
Yeah, I love it. And
West or east?
when you go on your bowling tournaments, are there other people that are curious about your lifestyle and what you're doing in this carnivore keto space?
Oh no. They have no idea.
Not yet.
Not
Not yet. Right?
The girl that I went down with, she won the state of Kentucky for her age group, 76. And she has, and we had a great time. We don't eat the same way, but we went to Cracker Barrel on the way home, and the waitress is asking me for my order, and she looks at her and she doesn't want any bread either. So it was pretty interesting.
Do you eat steak a lot?
I do eat steak, not like that though.
What's that?
I do eat steak, but no, not raw. No.
Well, I'm just wondering what our ancestors ate 50,000 years ago.
I wasn't alive. I have no idea.
I don't either. I love that answer. That's the truth. So tell me about your back pain and your overall pain. And I'm just curious what your thoughts are, what kind of caused all your pain.
Well, the sad way of eating obviously causes so much garbage stuff that, but I was also diagnosed when I was in my 20s, early 30s. I was having a lot of back issues, but I was doing a very physical job too. And I had gone to get an MRI done. Now, our dad had to wear a brace on his back, but he had an extra lumbar vertebrae. Well, I happened to have that same thing. So it caused a lot of discomfort, but it was also eating the inflammatory foods. And hello, Dr. Nelson. It was, that has to be what it is. I'm not a doctor, so I can't figure all that out. But all I know is when I changed the way I ate, that pain was no longer there. Even after going back to bowling and throwing a 14-pound ball down the lane, it didn't come back. So I gotta give it kudos.
Do you think that the doctors and the healthcare system is beginning to listen to us, or do we still have work to do that we all need to continue to teach them a true way of healthy human lifestyle?
Well, I've been pretty lucky. The doctors I personally have come in contact with have been very supportive.
Nice.
Except the one that my husband still goes to. We started out going to him when we moved to Kentucky, and my husband stayed with him. And thankfully for me, he quit taking my insurance, so I left. I found someone else. But I had gone in and asked for certain blood work to be done when I was still seeing him. And he said, you don't need that, like ferritin level and the C-peptide and the fasting insulin. He said, you don't need those. And I had Dr. Berry's book in my hand when I asked. And he said, I don't know who this joker is, but he doesn't know what he's doing.
Well, Dr. Berry has a new book on blood testing, which I find fascinating. He's got amazing stuff. And he just also shared with me the article from the Wall Street Journal that people are beginning to feed their infants going from breast to beef. And
Awesome.
we have a book called Babies to Babies you can get on Amazon, which basically is like we are all ancient hunters. And we did eat raw meat, which actually is the healthiest thing to eat. Cooked meat may not be so good for us, but I know how hard it is, but it is radical. We went to Gelson's here. Brother Ray and I went to Gelson's yesterday here in Irvine, California, Southern California, and we got some really great boneless short rib meat, which was Wagyu, fatty as heck. And I just sliced it up into small little bits, salted it, and that was my meal. And it was so amazingly good. But why do you think we're all sort of like, oh, I can't eat raw meat?
Now, it's funny because when I was younger, I don't know, right now, I just couldn't. But when I was younger, before my mom would mix ground beef into a meatloaf, I can remember grabbing a piece of a bit of that and throwing it in my mouth. And I'm like, I can't believe I did that.
Well, Brother Ray and I were sharing that our father Ray would do the same thing. He would share although Ray's 10 years older than I am, but he's 20 years younger.
So, if I may,
you may, Ray. Just keep it short and sweet.
So, our dad would go to the butcher shop and we'd get some ground steak, right? He'd take it home and we'd open it up and he would dive in, and I learned to eat that way.
And today, this is the healthiest thing that we're missing. And when you read Pottinger's Cats, you'll realize that, oh my God, when you cook things, you damage the molecular structure. You glycate and you oxidize and you create advanced glycation end products. So ultimately, fat is the best thing to eat. The raw fat from the beef, to me, is the very, very, very best. It's crazy. Let's see. We got, Mitch is sending hello, Brother Ray.
Excellent.
Old guy carnivore, Mitch Weiss. So you've been following Dr. Berry, and who out there should we all be listening to and watching to be inspired by besides kilts?
Well,
Cindy, we should listen to Cindy.
Everybody that tells their story needs to be listened to. So, like I went to a local meetup last year, and everybody there got up and told their story, and I recorded them. And then I did a 4-part series on their stories because I couldn't get it all in one video. So, and it was just wow to be there and hear it firsthand. And there was no way I could shorten those, to be able to post them without their whole story in there. but that's what it is. You know, everybody is inspiring because their stories are incredible.
We are.
Yeah.
Sure are.
It's the stories. And I'm just wondering if science is kind of like screwed us all up, because most people are like, well, where's the study? Even in the carnivore keto world, well, where's the study? But in fact, most of us are living by faith and rather than facts. And I'm just curious on if you have any spiritual beliefs that have helped you also on this journey.
I really do not. I don't get into all that. I was raised Catholic. I was raised Catholic, and I have those beliefs, and you know, I do not frequent church. When I was divorced the first time, that was like, hello, you know, they don't recognize divorce. So hey, people make mistakes, and you know, that's
Well, but I wonder if ultimately God is within all of us and church is everywhere. And ultimately there's strength within us, and that's faith. Kindness, love, generosity, and healing, forgiveness. And Brother Ray and I were talking about that earlier this morning. And truly, faith is the most important part of this story, because you had to take something upon yourself rather than waiting for the scientific literature to share the way, because the way is within all of us. And
if I had to wait for scientific literature, I would never have done this, because I don't like all that stuff.
Well, and I'm a scientist, and I will tell you, I agree with you 100%.
Yeah,
because it's snake oil. And again, oh, wait a minute. We have to have a prospective randomized double blind. Oh, wait a minute. You have to cite your sources. But in fact, the stories you're sharing and others are sharing, and everyone here, I'm grateful to everyone stopping in, by the way. And just to be here for a minute, 5 minutes, you know, people stop in on Instagram and on Kilt's Mighty Tribe, and I'm really grateful. But the ability through social media is like a game changer.
Yes, I agree. It's like when I started my channel, I talked to my husband, my sister. I said, you know, I really kind of want to do this. And then, you know, I heard Dr. Barry, and I followed Two Crazy Ketos, and I kept hearing, somebody needs to hear your story. You got, and just to the people, everybody in general. And I'm like, could I do this? And 2 years ago, I started, pretty close to that. And I'm so glad I did, because I said, I've met so many wonderful people and heard so many fantastic, inspiring stories that it just makes it all worthwhile, for sure.
I came to LA about 2 months ago, and I was walking to the Uber, and a city bus in Los Angeles almost hits me. The bus driver puts her head out the window, says, "Dr. Kiltz." So we're connecting with people around the globe, no matter where you're at. And love, kindness, generosity, and faith is such an important concept for all of us. And so I always say, take your pulse first. And if you could feel it, you're alive, you're capable of everything. Brother Ray has a question. Go ahead, Ray.
So many of the ailments that you described that you had went away by approaching a different diet.
Absolutely.
Specific question. You mentioned knee pain. Did your knee pain go away, or did it lessen?
Well, my knees have been replaced. I've had the first knee replaced in 2014 after it decided to bend backward on me. It was horrifying.
Okay.
The second one was replaced in 2017, which got infected. And I had to have 2 other surgeries within 2 months on that knee, because there was a spot that wasn't healing. I was on a wound vac for a while, IV antibiotics for 6 weeks, oral antibiotics for 8 months until it finally healed.
Well,
Okay.
I've got I had back pain, I had knee pain, I had migraines for years. And when I went keto, it helped 20 years ago. And when I went carnivore, gone 15 years ago. Never felt better in my life. And as a doctor, my job is to help heal my brothers and sisters. And we do that best by sharing the story and connecting with our brothers and sisters around the globe in more loving, kind, generous, and positive ways. And
Right.
so, what if we're simply poisoned by plants and lean meat, which is deadly for humans? It's called protein poisoning. Is it better to be fat or skinny in a famine?
Considering I was fat all my life, I don't want to be skinny. You know,
Fat is fantastic and skinny is deadly. And I'm sorry that fat never causes disease. A lack of eating fat is the single leading cause of our problems.
By the way,
Because fat suppresses gastrointestinal microbes, which are poisonous for humans. The microbes want to kill us. It's crazy. Do we have any questions coming up for
We do have
Cindy?
some questions. Yeah,
And
let's get some
both are taking
questions.
questions from Instagram and Kilt's Mighty Tribe also, and go at it.
Okay, so this is the first question for Cindy. Cindy, how did you master the food noise in the evening? I do so good during the day and stop eating around 3, but then TV time is a killer.
well, I don't eat my first meal typically till 1 or 2 in the afternoon. I mean, we just don't. The evening food noise, that's like, that's the toughest thing for me because I always eat at night, always. And now it's like, but I keep busy. I keep my hands busy with either cross stitching or crocheting or doing something other than putting food in my mouth. It's like,
Go to bed early, up early every day, and I do my one meal at night, and it's meat, and then I go to bed early, bed by 8, sleep by 9, up by 3, and early bird catches the worm, as they say. But the real mission is you got to do something. Like we're born to do something: sewing, crocheting, building, painting, pottery, poetry, music. All these things are critical for us.
reading.
I do my daily journaling every single day. I infinitely read books. I've been rereading Lead Like Jesus by Ken Blanchard and others. Christ-Based Teachings is still one of my favorite books in the universe. And then connecting and sharing stories, because we're just watching other people's stories.
Right.
And the beauty here is we're watching each other's stories unfold. That's what the beauty is. Here I'm hanging out with Brother Ray in his box in Southern California. We're sharing.
Yep.
connectivity is critical.
Connection, and that's what we're all doing together. And the more we do that, because ultimately we've been locking ourselves away and missing the real message of life.
Mhm.
Hardship builds a strong ship.
But by the way, thank you for your thoughtful answer about the question I asked earlier.
Oh, you're welcome.
Very much.
Awesome. Next question.
Next question. Steve Stone. During my first years on carnivore, I stopped sunburning, but no matter how much I was outside, I found out last week. Now at 32 months, the sunburning is back. Any ideas at the mechanism at play?
I can't answer that. I rarely, I burn easy all the time. So I'm very fair skinned, and that,
I think ultimately you have to look at what are you eating? What are you putting in and on your body? Because it takes a small amount of a phytochemical to cause photosensitivity and burning. And also my bet, again, gets back to fatty raw meat is ultimately our instinctual ancestral diet, not cooked meat. And when you cook meat, you render the fat away and you change the molecular structure. And so I agree with Cindy also that our skin, we is again, our environment is not what it used to be, and we're living in places we probably never lived before. And so there's also going to be some effects of the sun that we need to stay out of the sun at certain times and go out there at other times. But I would say look at exactly what you're eating and drinking and breathing and putting on. My Ostron, Pregnancy Safe Cosmetics, talks about the fact that people are putting on their skin plant oils and other phytochemicals that may be photosensitizing.
Baby oil.
Interesting. We have one more question, and that is from Stephanie Boyd. Dr. Hills, my son told me about a guy, Agonis Vonderplanitz, who only ate raw meat. He died in 2013. Have you heard of him?
I've heard of people that only ate fatty red meat. And by the way, we're all going to die. When and how we die, I have no idea, but not yet. But fatty raw meat is actually the healthiest thing to eat. Raw plants are deadly. Cook the plants, ferment them, grind them, prepare them. But beef is always best when it's
Raw,
rare to raw, and the fat in and on your body, the healthiest thing you carry. And ultimately, inflammation is caused by a plant protein fermentable diet, which is making beer in your belly, which circulates everywhere, along with methane and aldehydes, which are damaging for our body.
there you go. Next question is about coffee. Chuck, asking in love, I'm a coffee lover too, but it's a plant. Do we sidestep because we don't hurt enough? What if we all do a 90-day no coffee challenge? Sounds like a great idea.
I did 2.5 years no coffee. I'm having a little bit over the last 2 to 4 weeks, small amounts decaf from time to time, decaf tea from time to time. And I would tell you that it is a plant chemical. And so sometimes we may be damaged by it in ways that we don't know. But like anything else, we walk across streets, we live with other human beings, we drive cars, fly airplanes. We do plenty of dangerous and deadly things. You got to pick your life choices. I'm not here to tell you, oh, you can never do that. Like, come on, be you. It's okay. But ultimately, it is a plant bitter toxin, potentially. But I enjoy it from time to time.
That would be an easy challenge for me. I can't stand coffee.
So you don't drink coffee then already?
No.
But we're always, all of us, I mean, water from a pond, a river, a stream, rainwater collected is the water we're meant to drink. And remember, the microbes are everywhere. We used to die a lot more because of the microbes. It's less today than it used to be, but it's still pretty big. And again, you pick your what you want to eat. We're not here to judge except with love.
I love that.
It's important.
Yeah.
It's like when I'm
100% love.
when I'm on my live streams, and I've made it very clear I'm not going to deal with any negativity in there. It takes away from the community. When somebody's in there being so negative about anybody that else is commenting, it just takes away from how good this community is. And it makes me absolutely crazy because it's like, I can't. There's, negativity has a place, and it's definitely not in here. It's not. It's crazy.
Love. That's the most important part of it, right? Love. Share love every day. I'm addicted to life. I'm addicted to keto carnivore. Faith And this is really where we're at. And ultimately reproduction. We're not
Right.
here to be physicians, potters, painters, poets. We're here to be parents. And I'm now a grandparent. And I think what we're doing here is sharing way of life that is radical and different. Is alcohol good for us? No. Like, we should get rid of it. But the biggest problem is most people are making alcohol in their guts through a plant protein, low fat diet. And so add more fat and you'll feel more fit. It's really the simple story, right? So amazingly simple.
Well, you were talking about who I who I listen to, who I follow. After hearing Dr. Barry say so many times, and a lot of people that are in the chat have heard this, that are with me. I had my CAC done, and it was crazy high. I think Alia, I think you know this too. My score came back over 5,500. And I keep hearing all these people, oh, they freak out if it's 100 or all this stuff. And I'm like, excuse me. So I found a live stream that Dr. Barry was doing with Dr. Ovadia. And I asked a question about my score. Dr. Ovadia said, use it as a baseline because it's your first one. Have another one done in a year and stay the course. Well, I did all that, and I had it done a year later, and it was over 6,000. And then I saw Dr. Ovadia on live with another YouTuber, and I asked him about that. And he said, typically as we age, CAC score can go up 20%. I said, well, I'm going to take this as a win. Mine went up 10%, but I am in the 95th percentile of somebody to have a heart attack. So, that is always on my mind, obviously. I don't let it stress me out, but I won't have another test done either because that was the biggest stressor in the world, seeing the numbers. So that's just another part of my story and I know I did it to myself. I am almost certain that it was the high blood pressure for many years, taking the medications, battling the blood pressure. It was just, I believe, I've never been told, and I have never had confirmation of that, but I do believe it was the battling the high blood pressure that caused the high CAC scores.
Yes. So plant protein, low fat diet for years causes damage to glycocalyx, first in the gut, then in the blood vessels and systemically, which causes hypertension. Is just a symptom of inflammation, but not the cause of the disease. My CAC score was 700. My CT angiogram had minimal narrowing of the circumflex. Everything else was great. I have high cholesterol. I feel amazing. And I'm repeating the CT angiogram in a month just for fun, because truly, I don't really care. But if I can identify something that maybe need to be treated with modern medicine, I'd consider it. I'm a doc. I practice modern medicine. There's still value in modern medicine. My friend Dan just had a widowmaker heart attack, and they quickly put in a stent, and he's great.
Oh yeah, it's amazing what they can do.
Yeah.
What they couldn't do. My dad died at the age of 56. He had scarlet fever as a child, and they told him it would more than likely develop into heart disease. And when he was 50, he had his first major heart attack. And 56, he was dead after quadruple and open heart surgery, quadruple bypass. And then a month after getting out of the hospital, he went back in and had to have a pacemaker put in. But his heart wasn't doing anything. His doctor was like, I can't believe you're still here, every time he walked in the office.
And unfortunately, doctors don't know the story, and you're sharing the story. And now again, it's even the Wall Street Journal's talking about it.
Right.
And, you know,
Amazing.
breast milk to bone meat. That's who and what we are. We're ancient hunters that ate the fatty. I gotta see if I can get this. The fatty, rare to raw beef. We didn't wait for the chef or the cook or the fire. We ate it and we got it in our belly before any other animal or human being got it in their belly. That's the simple story, right? Couple other questions coming up. Alia. Cindy.
So someone first to say would like some words of wisdom from Brother Ray.
Well, what's words of wisdom, Brother Ray?
I'll tell you what it is. You really have to get up and follow your bliss every day. That means you got to follow your heart. And you know what? And it's hard to do in the world because the world wants to tell you what to do through advertising, through your friends, and very well-meaning friends. And it is a challenge, but I really believe that if you can get up in the morning and follow your bliss or work on following your bliss, you'll line up a world of people around you that will guide you through the day and through different situations in your life. Because you have one life and you're not going to live it somebody else's way. And I appreciate all of the thoughtful, can I say it? I'll say it this way. All of the very thoughtful bravery and courage that the people on this channel have exhibited, because they're not getting up in the morning and everyone's saying, good job, keto carnivore, eat carnivore. You really have to get up in the morning and dust yourself off and make your own decisions. And I think that's a real confidence builder. So follow your bliss, follow your heart.
We talked about discernment, and judgment.
Correct.
What's the best way to judge?
With love, of course.
With love. And who must you love first?
Yourself.
In the mirror every day. And I come out and hang out with Brother Ray in Southern California. We have these conversations and we get up, let's see, I typically get up at 3 a.m. Eastern time. And here we are, we got up at 1 a.m. In West Coast time. And people that are just showing up, that is one of the most important things. And you're showing up to listen and learn from ideas that maybe you've never considered.
That's commitment.
And commitment is critical, but just showing up and typically go sit in the front row, right?
Yeah.
That's the magic of the message. Show up in the front row, and we're learning from Cindy. Tell me all about your bowling tournaments now, Cindy. Are you? What's that all about?
Well, this last one was a big one. It was down in Fort Worth, Texas. And like I said, I had won the 65 to 69 age group for Kentucky to represent Kentucky for that age group at this particular tournament. And what it was is we had 2 rounds of qualifying. And then if you made it to the final round, they took the top 6 people in each category, in each age bracket. I did not make it because the first day I was so nervous. It was like my legs were like rubber, just trying to keep focused on staying upright. It was rough. But then I had a very good day Thursday. But I went from out of 34, 65 to 69-year-olds, women, I went from 33rd place after the first day to 14th place overall. So I'll take that. It was the first big tournament I've ever bowled in. I've bowled in local ones and it's all good. But yeah, it was all right. It was an experience.
Are there any books or any particular inspirational things that you listen to, watch, or read that you'd want to share with us?
I have read Dr. Berry's book. I have read a portion of Dr. Bernstein's book, which I bought for my husband, Diabetes Solution. And that book is phenomenal. There was one phrase in there that he said that was an eye opener. And I think it's what helped get my husband started on keto with me, is when Dr. Bernstein had put in his book, whether you're diabetic or not, the more insulin you have to inject or produce, the more damage you do to all the organs in your body. And that was like, wow. So it was pretty eye-opening.
Well, interesting enough, insulin is one of the most valuable hormones for digestion. Without it, we're dead.
Right. That's yeah.
And so it's never the cause of disease. The cause of disease is the illogical plant protein, low-fat diet that we're eating 3 to 6 times a day. We're meant to eat 1 time a day or less. And we are meant, sorry, I know this is really hard for people to get. We're meant to eat this. And again, eating carnivore had the same connotation. But when you cook it, you damage the molecular structure of it and you create advanced glycation end products. And so ultimately, the simplicity of this story is fat is made in the liver via insulin out of amino acids and simple sugars. When you eat fat, it goes to the lymphatics and it's distributed via chylomicrons to every cell of your body. And it's also stored in adipocytes, which contain every mineral, vitamin, and building block for your body. And the only energy of your body is fat. Alcohol is not ever burned as energy. It's a toxin. It must be detoxified in the liver.
Mm-hmm.
And many
I don't drink, so I'm good.
many carnivores are still eating a low animal fat diet, which is part of the problem. It's crazy. Go at it now, Leah.
All right. Let's see. So Sawa would like to know what microbes killed us before. Why won't raw meat and raw water kill us? I hope you understand what I'm asking.
Well, the majority of microbes are in and on the plants and in the contaminated water sources of the world. The beef, the meat is not contaminated unless it's been ground and processed, and you don't know where it's coming from. But ultimately, the microbes don't go through the GI tract in any significance, but it does in human beings. And the microbes, every one of them is a potential killer. And why would you want any of them in your bloodstream? None of them. But how many times is a ribeye steak recalled? Never. Butter doesn't mold. Fatty meat doesn't mold. It dry ages. Brother Ray and I were talking about this. Chicken, fish, and beef. Dry age them for a week. Which one's going to get contaminated? The fish and the chicken, but not the beef, because the beef contains fat, marbled fat, which suppresses the microbes. It's simple, but it's a science that most people don't even think about.
Advertising.
Marketing. The message. Don't ever eat raw meat because it'll make you healthier than you could ever be. Oh, eat lots of raw vegetables, all the colors of the rainbow, right? That'll keep you sick and the medical system making lots of money. Oh, it's not a conspiracy, is it? Is it? I don't know. Next.
Well, this is about raw eggs. I have my own chickens. So I'm thinking of putting raw egg yolk in my coffee. Is it safe to eat raw eggs?
I eat raw eggs. I eat raw beef. But again, nobody can tell you what you're eating is healthy. Nobody. You got to choose and you got to do the work and resources yourself. That's it.
Yep.
But what other animals like, oh man, that wasn't pasteurized or cooked? None. No other animal eats cooked food except if it's been manipulated by human beings. Crazy, right?
All right, here we go. Isn't the 5,500 CAC score from years past? Can it truly be reversed ever?
I believe it is from things in my past. Can it be reversed? I have no idea. I've heard people say their scores have gone down, but I stayed the course and mine went up 10% to over 6,000. So I can't prove that one. All I can say is it didn't go up 20% like Dr. Ovadia said. So, you know.
I mean, basically, there's no test that can say to you, oh, you're going to die next week or you're going to live another week. Doesn't exist. People have lived a long time with severe cardiovascular disease, and people have died young with what looks like no cardiovascular disease.
It's true.
And the leading cause of death is cardiovascular disease because the heart and the vessels, are at immense environmental hardship, technically. And so all these things are factors, but I would say the simplicity is don't rely on any test to tell you you're going to be sick and die tomorrow.
Right.
Imagine how healthy you are. Remember, the mind is the master. If you haven't looked at the book by James Allen, you must.
There you go. I want to read this from Alvin Kim. Nice meeting you, and thanks for welcoming me. If the opportunity exists, hope you can tell Dr. Fields I have a lot of respect for him and wish for ongoing success. Thank you as well. Oh yeah, there you go.
Check your pulse. You are successful. That's all that's required. And we are all going to be fertilizer, but we are infinitely living existence forever because we're just part of the spiritual molecular nature of life. It's a mind game. It has nothing to do with physical anything. Mindset only. You could be on your deathbed and living a joyous life.
Basically.
And you could be in jail and looking up at the stars or looking down at the mud. You decide. Good day, bad day, right day, wrong day, easy day, hard day. Mind game. The mind.
I'll tell you, here's a good example of that too. There's a lady that we bowl with who was diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer. I believe it was lung. This woman is thriving. She has such a positive outlook and she is absolutely thriving. And it's impressive. I mean, they found cancer everywhere.
Yeah.
And it's just, wow. She is amazing.
I am healthy and well.
Yep. At the bowling tournament, I gotta tell you this because this lady impressed me to no end. In the 75 and over category, this lady that won that category was 93 years old and still works 3 days a week at a nursing home. She was absolutely impressive.
Which they're fed a deadly diet.
My in-laws were both in nursing homes.
The meat is the master meal. Lions
I like
eat
meat. Not like that, but I like meat.
well, again, I'm just sharing a thought, an idea that may be even more radical. Slice it up, dry age it, add some salt, maybe some butter, and enjoy it. Until you've done it, you do not know. That's kind of my thoughts and ideas. And like, oh, I can never do that. Why would anyone ever say I could never do that? That's interesting. I haven't done that yet.
But I can do it.
But I can do anything I choose to do. Just an idea. I can never do. I always say not yet. Not yet. Right?
Yep.
This is for Cindy. Chuck, excellent interview, Cindy. What foods do you eat? Thank you.
Majority is ground beef, steak, eggs. I've done egg fast. I've done beef, butter, bacon, and eggs for a month. I've done all kinds of things. But overall, very rarely do I have any
I know.
vegetables. But when I do, it'll be green beans or broccoli or something to that effect. And nothing, it really doesn't bother me to eat to eat the vegetables when I want them. Occasionally I'll have a salad, but overall it's meat and eggs, whether it's chicken or beef or fish or what have you, and eggs. My favorite meal, steak and eggs, hands down, cooked.
Ron Kerr says, Brother Ray, I'm about your age. I follow my heart and get up 3 to 4 a.m. every morning. I do more every day than most 30-year-olds. My faith helps guide me. Right on, Ray.
Oh, thank you.
April Schoner, good morning, New Jersey. Bruce Frazier, I have epilepsy. I'm actually sleeping better, which lowers my chance of having seizures. Unbelievable. Remember, the keto carnivore diet is the original epilepsy and type 1 diabetic treatment. Bruce says, I'm 100% permanently disabled, USMC. Vet, I haven't worked out in 20 years, now working out daily. And I wrote 100% healthy always. Always. All right. Let's see. How we doing here?
We got a couple more questions.
Let's see. What do we got? Comments, questions. My Instagram dropped on me. I lost all my power.
Oopsies. Michael Smith asked, Cindy, has your husband's insulin needed decreased and by how much?
He uses way less insulin than he used to. I can't even give you a number because he takes care of all that. I don't know. I know it has gone way down and he is much healthier for it. So
Emily Sarasi, a week and a half on carnivore with my husband and loving it, praying it helps with fertility. Amy Perrin, Brisket Boomer on Kilt's Mighty Tribe, and also I think Instagram, YouTube, type 1 diabetic, full on carnivore, and significant decrease in insulin. Remember, insulin's job is to convert animal sugars, proteins, plant sugars and proteins to fat in the liver. If you're eating mostly fatty meat, you have a lower insulin requirement. That's why one meal a day is like the game changer also. Have you done any fasting, Cindy?
I have done 3-day fast periodically. And it's once I get past that initial hunger, it's easy. It's like,
isn't it? Yeah.
It's periodic. I mean, I've done probably maybe 3 or 4 of them in the 5 years that I've been keto. But yeah, it's easy for me when I want to do it. You know, it's like somebody commented on one of my videos, how do you keep this sustainable for you? And the key is to be sustainable for you individually, but just keeping it simple is the easiest way to do it. I mean, I don't make these exorbitant recipes like Chris Cooking Nashville. I love the dude. He's got some fantastic recipes, but good Lord, they're definitely not easy.
But it's entertainment. That's the beauty. And Ash is coming out with her new single, by the way. We got to make sure we share that with everyone.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
You're right. I mean, I love Julia Child and all these shit, but how difficult is it to cook a raw steak and not cook it and eat it?
I will tell you, I had the pleasure of being able to cook with Chris at his house.
Yeah.
And he is just amazing.
He's
wonderful food, actually.
Yeah, well, you're right. And I'm getting down to visit with Chris Cook in Nashville in the coming month or so. And ultimately, my brother Ray just said, what was that comment you just made?
Well, diversity in food is not necessary for healthy living, really. You don't need to eat a wide variety of food is not necessary for optimum health. In fact, as you said a few minutes ago, if you keep it simple and just a couple of things, you'll have a better opportunity not only to stay on your path, but achieve your goals. Kind of keep it simple, right, is what you said.
That's right. It's so easy for us, it's like,
I eat a ribeye steak on the grill, but I've never gotten tired of putting a ribeye steak or a New York steak or a tri-tip burger on the grill and putting some salt on it and eating that for dinner. I mean, I'm not tired of it.
Wait a minute. I ran out of gas on the grill.
Well, we don't run out of gas here.
But ultimately, we're overthinking all of it. Black and blue, rare to raw. Add some salt, throw on some butter, and be happy. And fattier meat is better to eat. And enjoy your day.
And with a smile on your face.
But I think we've made food entertainment, but it's not supposed to be entertainment. It's supposed to be the fuel and building blocks for our lives.
Basically.
We spend more time trying to figure out what are we going to eat today? Like, what other animal is questioning what they're going to eat today? They know what they're going to eat.
they go hunting for it.
You got to keep going after it. But we've been put into an amusement park, and we've been brainwashed to believe that, oh, wait a minute, you're nutrient deficient. Nobody's nutrient deficient. They're poisoned. Poisoned by plant protein, low animal fat diet, 3 to 6 meals a day.
And in America, overnutrition as well.
Well, you're eating 3 to 6 meals a day when you only need 1 or less, right? Oh, you need to fuel your metabolism? What's your metabolism doing right now?
Nothing.
It's doing what it's supposed to do, right? Yeah, nothing. But is it the entertainment? We're seeking entertainment.
Mhm.
But you do crochet. I used to crochet and knit when I was about 12, 13, 14. I used to sew. My mother taught me to sew. And I used to build and do mechanics, and I'd still do some of those things. But ultimately, we don't do any of those things anymore, do we, Cindy?
I do.
But most people don't. So my point
You're right.
is, you do, because if you didn't make these things, and your question, well, what am I going to eat today? I'm eating the same thing I've eaten for the last 3.5 million years. And the science is simple. Look at Pottinger's cats.
We need to do the giveaway.
Always sharing ideas. Go ahead, hit the button while we ask any other line. Cindy, is there anything else you wanted to share with those that are listening, watching around the globe today, tomorrow, or in 10,000 years from today?
Just find out what works for you, whether it's keto, ketovore, carnivore, cooked meat, raw meat, whatever it is. If it works for you and it's sustainable, you will be successful. Just keep it as simple as possible and you're in there.
Cindy, where do people find you? Hit the button, Alia.
Yep, hitting the button.
I am
Where do
on-
people find you?
I am on Facebook, Cindy Demanche. I am pretty out there as far as my name is in everything.
I love
I
it.
have YouTube channel, Cindy Demanche 3839 on YouTube. I'm on Instagram rarely, but CDEM512. And that's about it. It's everything pretty much includes my name because I don't want to be anything else,
We love it. Well, we appreciate everyone being here today. Larry Ryan's the winner, and Alia at drkiltz.com. And we got a carnivore conversations to come, Cindy. We love what you're doing. Blessing and have the very best day. And to everyone out there, remember, you're the master of your life. Go out there and do something and be afraid and do it anyway. But somehow when you go to animal. I use the word animal based. It's no fruit. I'm sorry. Animal based means you eat animals. Plant based, you eat plants. If you eat both, you're an omnivore. Be the lioness and the lion.
Yeah. Oh, I just want to say something real quick on the giveaway. If you won a prize in the last 3 months, I'm going to just click the button again and give somebody else a shot. So I know, congratulations, Larry Ryan. Larry Mudbone recently won a gift, so I pressed the button again. So somebody else can get a shot. Oh, you both get it. You both get a hat.
Come on.
Both get a hat. Okay,
Come
good.
on. Come on. They're here. They can win every dime.
All right. Larry
Come
and
on.
Larry, you both won today.
Yes,
Congratulations.
Yes. And thank you. So I'm on my way to San Diego today. We'll see if I'm on tomorrow morning. If not, Ali is here.
I am here.
Dr. Nelson will be at San Diego. Keto, what is it? Low Carb USA?
Symposium for Metabolic Health, aka also known as Low Carb USA. Yes.
Low Carb USA. And look forward to seeing everyone there. We have a booth. And keep sharing your stories, because your stories are what matters most. Brother Ray, any last minute words?
Yeah, thank you for allowing me to hop on KMT, and it's a pleasure to meet you, Alia. It's always great to see you, or most of the time hear your voice. And,
Thank you.
you're such an important part of KMT, and I appreciate you.
Oh, thank you so
we
much.
love you. I look forward to Carnivore Conversations. Bye all.
Bye, everybody.
God bless.